Hey everybody, Roger Russell here again. I just wanted to talk about home maintenance today and some things that I would recommend that you do, some things that I do at my home to avoid any potential problems. So let's get started. Uh, since it's that time of year, let's start with fall home maintenance. In the fall, prepare your home and yard for cooler temperatures, falling leaves, and more hours spent indoors. Some tasks that you might want to do, or that I'd recommend that you do, is clean your gutters and downspouts. The reason that you want to clean your gutters and downspouts is that if you have them full of leaves or have them full of gunk, what'll happen is the rain will come, the snow will come, and if there's any melting or that those leaves and that stuff is blocking that water, you could potentially get ice dams once it starts freezing. So you definitely want to avoid that. Inspect your roof and chimney for cracks and damage. If you have a fireplace, make sure that you go up, make sure that you inspect that for cracks or damage. And there are companies around that also will clean the flue for that fireplace. So check that out. Rake leaves and shred, use as much or dispose of them based on Sioux Falls guidelines or whatever your guidelines are as far as where you're at. I know in Sioux Falls here we're allowed to drop that off at different drop sites, so you can check those out. Install storm windows. Storm windows will definitely, especially in older homes, storm windows will definitely help you save some energy and will keep that bitterly cold air that will come in the wintertime from coming into your home, especially if you have older windows. Remove hoses from the spigots and drain and store indoors. The reason that you want to do this is I drove by a house in Northwest Sioux Falls a couple of years ago, and they had a hose that had burst and water was just going all over the side of the home. And it actually was kind of pretty seeing all the frozen water on the outside of the home, but it wasn't pretty that they could have had some damage there. So you definitely want to avoid that, even if it looks kind of cool. Store outdoor furniture and cushions. Put those in the shed, put those downstairs, wherever you might want to put those. And then test your snowblower and have it professionally serviced if necessary. One thing you'll definitely want to do is, if you do have a snowblower, hopefully you put stable in it or some type of fuel treatment so that it starts in the wintertime. But you want to go ahead, check that out, and make sure that's running. Indoor tasks. Check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. This is very important. You want you and your family and people living in the home to be safe during the wintertime. So make sure you do check those smoke detectors and the carbon monoxide detectors also. Check windows and doors for weather tightness and install weather stripping. A lot of times what will happen is, if you have an exterior door or a door that doesn't have a storm door, what will happen is you'll have a gap there and that snow can possibly come in. Same with your garage door too. You have the weather stripping around the edge. Make sure that you check that out so that you don't get any snow in your garage. Have your furnace professionally serviced. This is something really important too, to avoid any type of carbon monoxide problems. So make sure that you call an HVAC person to get that taken care of. Set traps for rodents. None of us really want to think about rodents, but in the wintertime, they will look for a warmer climate. So garages are perfect for that for them. So make sure that you set some traps, and there's many different variety of traps that you can buy. And then let's see, dust blinds and vacuum curtains throughout your house. If you feel like doing that, that's completely up to you. Then clean kitchen and bathroom cabinets and throw away outdated food, medicine, and cosmetics. The reason that you want to throw away outdated food is so you don't have critters that might be attracted to that. If they smell that, they might be attracted. Some winter home maintenance things that you want to do is walk around your property's exterior, check the crawl space vents. If you have a crawl space, it wouldn't matter if you have a basement then. Locate in the foundation. Close any crawl space vents that are open. So if you do have a crawl space underneath your property, make sure that those vents are closed, and to make sure that you don't get any snow, things like that underneath there. And the reason there is that if snow gets underneath there and then in the springtime it thaws, you don't want mold coming up onto that plywood or onto that wood that's your flooring inside. So you don't want that to get moldy or rotten. Some people cover up their central air unit. I do not cover up my central air unit simply because I don't want mold growing in there during the spring. When it gets moist again, I don't want mold growing in. So I do not cover my central air unit, but if you want to, cover that with a cover of some kind, and remove and store window air conditioners. So to avoid any type of snow and things like that through a window that has a window air conditioner, it's a good idea to go ahead and take those out and close that window. Clean and store garden tools, put them in the shed or put them downstairs, and then move snow shovels and snow blowers to a convenient spot. So what I always do is I always switch my lawnmower around and my snow blower around, so my snow blower has easy access, so that I have easy access to my snow blower. Some things you can do inside: change or clean furnace filters. That's always recommended, especially in the wintertime there when your furnace is going to be running a lot. Make sure that you change your furnace filters, and it does help your house from getting dusty. And then let's see, clean kitchen appliances inside and out, including refrigerator coils, if you decide to do that. Some refrigerators are easier to roll out than others. So if you do have refrigerator coils on an older refrigerator, go ahead and clean those out. And then maintain clean drains by adding a half a cup of baking soda, followed by half cup of vinegar, and then after 10 minutes, flush with boiling water. And what that does is that will help clean those drains to avoid any type of, hopefully avoid any type of drain backup or things like that. So those are fall and winter. That's what we're coming into. Here's some spring home maintenance ideas for you. The gutters, again, gutters and downspouts, very important. It kind of goes, with the others. Clean the gutters, downspouts, inspect your roof and chimney. So in the fall, winter time, and then also in the springtime, you want to do that. The fall is more important because if you have trees with leaves, you're going to have a lot of leaves probably in that. And then if you have an older house too, one thing that you'll notice a lot of in your gutters is going to be the asphalt pieces from the asphalt shingles. So if you had a hailstorm or things like that, you'll notice some of that in there too. And that really stops the flow of water, and you don't want to stop the flow of water when it comes to your gutters and downspouts. In the springtime, touch up peeling or damaged paint. That's a great idea. Typically, if you have a lot of it, you can call a professional if you don't want to do it. If you want to do it yourself, you certainly can. One thing you'll want to watch out for is if your house was built prior to 1978, for any lead paint and lead-based paint hazards. So be aware of that. Wash your windows inside and out, if you're a person that washes your windows. So go ahead and wash your windows inside and out, kind of do that spring cleaning there. Install screens on windows and doors. If you took those off during the wintertime, put those back, and so that you can enjoy that nice cool breeze coming through in the springtime. Clean outdoor furniture and air out the cushions. So they've been sitting in your house or in a shed all winter. Make sure you take those out and air those out so they're ready for use. Service your lawnmower. So just like your snowblower in the fall, you want to service your lawnmower, make sure it's working correctly. If you have to take it into a professional, certainly do that. But service your lawnmower, and then fertilize your lawn. You can either do it yourself. We prefer to hire a service to do that. They come out and they go ahead and take care of that for us. And there's a lot of services around Sioux Falls and surrounding area that you can check out. So, go ahead and take care of that, fertilize it yourself, or have the, one thing I wanted to mention is during the fall, it's not a bad idea to throw down some seed, some grass seed. So what'll happen then in the winter is you'll have that snow sitting on top of that, and then when that snow turns into water in the spring, it'll naturally hydrate that seed. Indoor tasks, again, test smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. One good way of remembering that is when your clocks go forward an hour, go ahead and do that. When they go back an hour, like last week, go ahead and do that. Check them at those 2 times, if not more during the year. I check mine more during the year. Then if you have a sump pump, this is very important, is test it and put a bunch of water in there from a bucket. Get a big 5-gallon bucket of water, dump it in there. Make sure that that's working. The last thing that you want is water in your basement in the spring, especially with the snow that we had several years ago. I can't remember what year that was, where we had all that snow and that melting, and then we had the rain, and that ground was frozen, and a lot of houses had water in the basement. So sump pump maybe couldn't have taken care of some of those things, but just check your sump pump, make sure it activates. If you don't know how to do that, call a professional, call me. I'm more than happy to help you out. And also one thing that you can think about too is a device that you can put down in the sump pit that will tell you where the water level is too. And those are available. I actually have that, and it tells me the water level, and then it also tells me if the water level gets to a dangerous point, which could indicate that my sump pump went out. Dust blinds and vacuum curtains, wash and change seasonal bedding. You're probably changing your bedding anyway. And then clean kitchen and bathroom cabinets, and again, throw out any outdated food or medication or whatever. In the summer, complete these projects as far as keep your yard looking nice and your home cool as far as the air conditioner and things go. Walk around your home's exterior and slide open crawl space vents. So in the wintertime or in the fall, you close those. Go ahead and open those again. Prune trees and shrubs if you've got them. I do know people in the business who are professionals at pruning trees and shrubs. So you can certainly get a hold of me for that, and I can send you their way. Remove lint from the dryer exhaust vent with a long flexible pipe. Very important. Every once in a while I hear of a house fire, or the chance of a house fire where people have not cleaned out their vent exhaust. One thing to keep in mind too is I've also heard the story about people not changing their dryer vent or not cleaning out their dryer vent on the dryer itself. And they've had this much lint on there and their clothes don't get dry. Possible hazard of that dryer overheating. So you certainly want to keep that in mind. And then, there are professional companies that will clean your ductwork, your dryer vents, things like that. So if you have anything that way, that's recommended. And then uncover your central air unit if you did cover that up during the wintertime. The one thing you won't want to do is in the spring, you will not want to turn that on, or in the summer, whenever you turn it on, you won't want to turn that on and have that cover on there. That could blow out the condenser because it doesn't have any air flowing through because it's got a cover on it. So make sure that you take that off and then put your window air conditioners back in if you do have any of those. Couple inside things, clean your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning filters. Go ahead and change those. On some of them, they do have washable filters, so you could do that if you want to buy the washable ones. If you want to buy the disposable ones, certainly do that. There are, what do they call it? I can't remember what the name of it is, but there's a certain number of efficiency for those. So you'll have the blue ones that are just the really cheap ones, the blue filters that don't catch much, but then you'll have the really thick ones that will catch a lot of things. And if you have allergies and things like that, or people in your family that have allergies, those more expensive ones by far are the way to go. And let's see here. Clean your kitchen appliances, the drains again too, if you had any problems with the drains. One thing that you want to do when it comes to drains is if they are slow, there are commercial things that you can use. Be careful of some of the commercial things, or over the counter, not over the counter, but drain cleaners that you can buy. just be careful with those, because some of those are, especially on older plumbing, can damage the plumbing possibly. So if you do have a pretty bad clog, I do know some companies around Sioux Falls that I always use. If it's a bad clog, I just simply call them, and I don't even mess around with it myself. So I just go ahead and let them take care of it. And then drain or flush your water heater. I've never done that, but there are people that do that. And supposedly what that does is that helps get that sediment out of the water heater that forms at the bottom of the water heater, which is why you see that drain at the bottom of the water heater. So you can do that. I would again consult with somebody who knows about water heaters. Consult with them before you do something like that. And you know what? That's what I've got. Let me check and see. I have another checklist here too that is kind of handy. Let me see if there's anything in addition. I don't think there was. The big things right now when it comes to fall is your gutters. Make sure your gutters are cleaned out. That can really cause a lot of damage if you get a ice dam. And if you don't know for sure what that is, go ahead and check it out, search it online. But typically what happens is the water drains into the gutter's clogged, the water doesn't go down the drain or down the downspout. And then what happens is that water keeps freezing. It eventually gets to the top of the gutter like you've probably seen before. And then what'll happen is it'll back up underneath the shingles. And if it's an older house that didn't have the freeze guard, which is required now when they put on new shingles, if it didn't have the freeze guard, what used to happen is it gets up underneath those shingles and then drips down on the inside of the inside between your ceiling and the attic, and it gets warm up in the attic and it drips down through the sheetrock on your ceiling. So that's why you want to make sure that your downspouts and gutters are cleaned out. Furnace, make sure you service that furnace. Make sure it gets checked out. You don't want to have a cracked heat exchanger and then have carbon monoxide in your house. Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas that you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. It's something that can kill you, and you definitely want to get that checked out. So call your favorite HVAC person. If you don't know anybody that you've used, let me know, and I can certainly get you in touch with a reputable ventilation person. I think that's it. If there's ever any questions that you have on anything like this, I'm more than happy to answer those for you. I'm starting to say close to 30 years in the business, 26 years, I think, 27 years this year actually. I've been in the business. I love what I do. I love sharing information. I love the questions that people have. So if you do find this video helpful, please share it with somebody else. And then also click the subscribe button, wherever the subscribe button is here. Is it red? Click the red subscribe button or whatever color it is, so that you don't miss any other videos. I'm going to start getting better at putting more videos out there, just informational videos. And if there's ever any questions that you have, like I say, give me a call. I've been through many different markets throughout my almost 30 years of real estate, and I'm more than happy to help you out, okay? All right, thanks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.